in 3 years. Real estate firm warns of a crisis in condo oversupply in Metro Manila.
Home Filipinos urged to take advantage of lower condominium rent prices in Metro Manila this year.
Today, I'm here in Bonifacio Global City, or BGC as we all know it. It's one of the most famous places here to live here in Metro Manila. But recently, I don't know, everyone's talking about a condo crash or hyper supply situation. So I thought, as a real estate agent, why not take a walk and talk about what's really happening or what's really going on, and see if this is a good time to make the most out of this situation. So people are saying that there's an oversupply of condominium apartments in Metro Manila. So BGC is not an exception. Try to walk around here at night and you'll notice something. So many of buildings, residential buildings, with barely any lights on them at night. I've actually noticed some buildings that are completely dark. It's pretty obvious that a good number of units are sitting empty.
Hi, I'm Eric, and welcome to another edition of Expat News. Okay, so let's start off this week's edition with some of the news highlights, what's kind of happening around the Philippines with both expats and expat bloggers.
Like, for example, this condominium is, at night, it's really empty. There are like 4 buildings of this, 1, 2, 3, and then the other one behind it. These 2 buildings, most especially this one and this one, they're very empty, totally dark at night. And this is a very, very pretty neighborhood. So back in 2018, if you wanted to rent a condominium apartment here, you'd be looking around 25,000 pesos per month for 1-bedroom unit. And guess what? That hasn't changed much. Even now, the cheaper condominium apartments still start about the same price range. But those higher end units, the ones that used to go for like 45,000 to 50,000 pesos, are now being rented out for way less. Like, for example, I've heard some people renting 56 square meters, 2-bedroom apartment for just 30,000 pesos monthly. That's crazy if you think about it. So while overall rent prices haven't exactly crashed, you can definitely find better deals now on units that were considered premium a few years ago. And honestly, that's where the real opportunity lies, right? I was really wondering, who are the number 1 buyers of condominium apartments here in Manila before, when I was not yet a real estate agent. But now I know. I don't know with other properties, but for the kind of apartments that I sell, which is the upscale apartments, who's buying all these units? They keep building nonstop. So based on the names and profiles that I've seen, they're usually Chinese nationals, Chinese Filipinos, high-level working or Filipino entrepreneurs and Filipino Americans.
The Philippines arrested a suspected Chinese spy, Deng Yuanqing, and 2 Filipino accomplices in Makati City. They were reportedly involved in espionage activities, scanning critical infrastructure such as military camps, airports, and fuel depots using advanced equipment capable of creating 3D maps. Authorities believe Deng, allegedly linked to China's People's Liberation Army, has been operating in the country for 5 years. The group's actions could pose a threat to national security, with the data potentially being used for military purposes. Charges under the espionage law have been filed against the suspects. The NBI is still investigating if these activities were officially sanctioned by the Chinese government. What is going on over there? I thought espionage would be the highest form of you can't be messing around with that stuff, especially when it comes to a nation's security for another country. So I'm curious to see if China is proven to be involved in any way, at least officially. So yeah, it seems some serious concerns coming towards these 3 men. I would be really worried if I was them. Let's talk about a little bit more positive news in the Philippines, right? So meet TJ. Sesame Street featured TJ, its first ever Filipino-American Muppet on the beloved children's show. TJ made his debut in 2023, created by Filipino-American animator Bobby Pontelas in collaboration with puppeteer Luis Mitchell. I had no idea the Sesame Street stuff was still going on, but I guess it is. I'm not a kid, and I think it was just a little bit before my time growing up. Yeah, 90s, early 90s, I think it was big. But anyway, I never got into Sesame Street. I'm glad they're kind of representing Filipinos as well, because there's a big population in the US, so kind of cool. President Marcos Jr. leads the launching of the Tesla Center in the Philippines, BGC Fort Bonifacio, Taguig City on Monday. Tesla has officially entered the Philippines on November 8th, its fourth market in the Southeast Asian region after Singapore, Thailand, and Malaysia. The president said purely electric vehicles are the future, and it's the future that we are all striving for because our country, with all its beautiful islands, stunning mountains, and breathtaking fields, has experienced and continues to experience the adverse effects of climate change. Quote, Tesla's entry into the Philippine market signals much more than high-tech cars on the road. It is a very significant step forward to our long-term transformation toward a more environmentally friendly transportation system, end quote.
Check out their sign. It says since 1962. These guys have some pretty cool outfits. My whole body's just moving right now with the beat. Let's continue.
¡Viva el señor Santo Niño!
I really love the start of this one. That's a very cool vibe. It sounds super kind of traditional.
¡Viva el señor Santo Niño! ¡Viva!
These are kind of modern looking outfits. There's different categories they have as like a competition when they're doing their sad. There's modern, there's big tribe, small tribe, there's Balik Ati. Check out the Balik Ati. These are indigenous natural materials that they use. Balik Ati referring to really going back to the indigenous roots of the Ati people. So you can see the designs are a bit different than something that's modern like over here. Now, besides groups, they also do individual categories. Check out the winning Balik Ati individual. This was supposedly made by a grade 11 student, and even the shoes were just like native materials. Look at this, look at these. I think that's abaca. I don't even know. Wooden abaca. But everything, there's even native manok feathers.
And now it's time for the video of the week. The video of the week is where I've gone through so many videos this week putting together the expat news, and I've come across something that I find really interesting or entertaining, and I thought the information was worth sharing with you. And what I typically do is just slice out a segment of that video, or I just do a summarized version of it.
But everything included, all 4 vehicles, the 1 watercraft, house fully furnished.
For those who love to drive and go on like Sunday cruises, but well, every day here in the Philippines, the coastal road from Iloilo into Antique is one of the most beautiful drives you'll ever take. Just absolutely gorgeous. And we are today near the tip, I guess. Yeah, pretty close to the tip. In Antique at a beautiful, absolutely beautiful, stunning house. And we're going to meet the gentleman who has it. And, well, let's find out everything about him, because this house looks amazing just from the road. Look at that. You can see the crashing waves right down below there. It's a pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
What's your name?
William.
William? Pleasure, William. This is such a lovely home just from the road. I love
Not too
the
bad.
crashing waves on the rocks and everything.
It's good. Man.
Oh,
Yeah.
plus the coastal road here
Yeah.
is one of the best drives anybody can do.
To Ilo, all the way to
Oh,
Iloilo.
Yeah, it's so gorgeous the
I do
whole
it
way.
a couple times a month.
Yeah, it's so
Couple
nice.
times a month.
How far from here to Iloilo for you?
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours
Yeah,
for you.
2.5
Okay.
hours.
Well, I think if it was Tim driving, 30 minutes.
30 minutes, really.
My God,
Where are you? 12?
I'm only 12.
Yeah.
I'm 6'4". How tall are you?
6'3".
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. Well, I ended up with small feet then, apparently.
Well,
You know what they say about guys with big feet?
Yeah, well, I understand that. I don't
Big
know if
shoes.
I believe all that.
Big
That's
shoes.
Big shoes, that's right.
What were you thinking?
Right.
Wait a minute.
Same thing. Took me a minute.
Wait, how big is this property here?
It goes halfway to Iloilo. No,
No, come on now. No, because I see you have a gate up there.
Yeah, so that property, I put a temporary bamboo fence, but it does go a little walk up there, but it does go around. It goes further. So it's 611 square meters.
Okay. Oh, this is gorgeous. I'm loving like this rock shelf that you see here. So he's got a sandy beach, and he's got the advantage of the rock shelf with the crashing wave sounds. How cool is that? By the way, that's his boat down there. We're gonna go look at that in a bit. This is really, really nice though. You gotta agree. You got the major road that takes you to Iloilo right beside you. Not too bad, by the way, because most people take the mountain road, so this is just the scenic route. But you're already near the end, so it's actually a very fast route to get to the province of Iloilo. So yeah, this is really cool. And apparently he said there's some stairs down here as well. Yeah, there they are. But before we even go see the house, we're going to go down here. Look at that. Oh my gosh, look at that boat. Look at that bad boy. I'm sure he'll tell us more about it in a minute. But that is a beautiful, I think they call them Zodiacs or something like that. That is a beautiful boat with a 150 horsepower motor on a light boat like this. That thing must go crazy speeds. It's got a trailer on it. So just wait for high tide, then push it out. I think that's his banca boat too. So he's got a banca boat, if I'm saying it right, maybe. And this friggin' incredible beach. And he's got the end here too, so it's kind of like your own secluded spot here. Yeah, you got neighbors over on this side, but wow. I'm loving the crashing waves. And then you got yourself a sandy beach too. Man, this is so beautiful. So beautiful. All right, let's find out about this boat. Maybe both boats. I would like to know. All right, you want me to take my shoes off?
No, you're.
Okay.
I'm from Texas.
Yeah, I was explaining to her because on TV you see people come walk into their carpeted house with shoes on, and I'm like, that's America.
That's what they do.
Just so you know, that's America, darling.
They make vacuums.
Yeah, so you have a new gas stove here.
It's a new gas stove.
New range.
New range.
Yeah.
New refrigerator.
Yeah. So what are you going to not take? All the appliances? Is that the plan? Because you're going to move to Brocca, you're not going to want to bring any of it. Trust me.
No, I understand. No. Every
major thing.
Every major thing, couch, everything. That's new. It's a leather couch. TVs.
Yeah. Air cons.
Air cons.
Yeah.
Everything's staying. I may take a few little knickknacks in my clothes.
Right. Of course. Yeah. Okay. So this is the living room here. So yeah, that's a great L-shaped couch here.
Yeah,
This isn't.
yeah, good section.
Oh my God, is it ever?
Yeah, these fold up and down. These kind of right here.
Oh yeah. I see. And then of course you got the view going right out.
Yeah.
And
Coffee table.
Okay, very nice.
Table.
Oh, and that's your disconnect there for the
Well, this is one of the
power outage.
When I fire the generator up,
Yeah.
and then it just turns the last on. Then it's run on generator.
Nice. And you got your TV up in here and like a whole counter space here and everything.
Shelving.
And
some clothes.
yeah, you got your clothes set up in here and everything because you don't need all the bedrooms. I get it. And then the master bedroom.
There is a
there is a single light going on in here. Yeah, your priority is smart to me because you spend most of your time outdoors.
Yeah.
That's where you put everything.
Yeah.
And you've got a TV mounted to the ceiling here. It's a good sized TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got a bathroom. I didn't put new toilet sinks in.
Why have two bedrooms if you're just going to be alone?
Really, these houses, different from Canada and the States, there's really no load-bearing walls, so to speak. I mean, they're all
Everything concrete. It's all load bearing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the whole house is holding itself up.
Concrete.
Yeah.
So,
Fantastic.
But yeah, like
I haven't
said,
gone out there yet either. Let me.
Okay, yeah. So it's got less than a year. It's got new.
All the properties I've shown over the years, this one is really special. Really is. Usually you have to pick the beach and the crashing waves. You can't have them both, but you got it both here. And on a major road. And a pretty decent setup he's got here, especially with the boat and everything. Your vehicles. If you're coming from the west, it's like everything is done for you. That's pretty incredible. So, I know everybody's going to want to know this stuff. This is kind of the important part.
Okay.
What is the magic number?
We can do it two ways. One is a turnkey, the house, the boat, the car, the multi-cab, and the scooter, which you didn't see.
No, I didn't even see it.
She's taking off in the scooter.
Okay.
But everything included, all four vehicles, the one watercraft, house fully furnished, 14 million.
14 million.
14
Okay.
million.
That's actually a really good deal.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's, like I said, new windows, new roof. It's all TVs, appliances.
That boat. Are you kidding me?
Rack.
Yeah.
The boat, I'll take a beating on the boat.
Yes, you are taking a beating on the boat.
I will take a beating on the boat, but somebody else will be able to avoid customs.
Yeah.
And so, but if somebody just wanted the house, Mike, 11.
All right. Well, 11 is still a really great price, but that paying that extra $3 million is definitely worth it. If you know anything about vehicles here, like the Geely and stuff like that, you're talking $1.5 million for the car alone. Then the registration period and everything. The good thing about vehicles, once they're registered here in the Philippines, the plate stays with the vehicle. It's not the owner's plate. And so you don't have to go through the hassle of registering and waiting for a plate and all that and have that, waiting for registration sticker on the back and all that stuff. It's already done. And I always tell people all the time, the fastest way to buy a vehicle here is buy one that's slightly used.
Let's finish up this week with the Expat Lightning Round. The Lightning Round is where I give you some quick highlights of expats and expat bloggers in the Philippines that either was interesting or funny or something that happened that I thought you'd find interesting. Let's take a look at the information this week.
The truth is you're just weak. Quit being weak. You need to be strong. It has to stop. And you have to do that. You have to be man enough. You got to have some balls, dude. You got to be willing to walk away. And the truth, can you handle the truth, guys? That you're a wimp. Sometimes you just got to man up and be the man, and you got to put your foot down. You know she's taking money out of the bank because you've given her the debit card. And you can take a look at your bank statement and see how much money she's been taking out. And why is she taking it out? Are you confronting her? Or are you scared of her? Are you so scared that she's going to leave you? That sweet girl, that pretty girl, you know, that you'll never find another good-looking girl, young girl again to be with. Guys, you're going to find more and more women if you're with a bad one. If you're out of control of your money, if someone else has control of your cash, it's your fault. And you have to do that. You have to be man enough. You got to have some balls, dude. You got to be willing to walk away. You know, all you Trump supporters out there who say he's the man, well, listen to him. Sometimes you got to be willing to walk away from the deal.
I'm Brian, and I uprooted my entire life in America 2 years ago to move here to the Philippines.
It's true. What can you say?
Manila, Bonifacio Global City, or BGC to be exact. Yeah, you heard that right. 2 years. It's been one wild ride full of twists, turns, and more than a few "what the hell did I just get myself into" moments. But let me tell you something. I wouldn't change a thing. I've got a high-rise apartment, beautiful view, and it's costing me just $600 American a month. Can you believe that? Customer service is a whole different thing in the Philippines. Back in the States, we're used to fast, efficient service. We want our food. We want it now. We want it right. But here, things move a little slower. You find yourself waiting longer than you'd like to for pretty much anything. It's not that people aren't trying, but the pace here is different. In the Philippines, they value relationships more than efficiency. And that's not a bad thing either. It's just different. You might walk into a restaurant and wait 10 minutes for someone to take your order, even though the place is nearly empty. When the food finally arrives, it might not be exactly what you wanted, but hey, at least they're smiling and apologizing for the wait. Counts for something, right? It's not the end of the world, but it can take some getting used to if you're a stickler for punctuality and precision. No soup for you. The good news is most of the time the people are kind, friendly, and willing to help. They just move at their own pace. And honestly, after a while, you just start to appreciate the slower rhythm. If you stick to the tourist areas and big cities, you're usually fine, but don't be an idiot. Please.
This is stupid on my part. I was walking downtown Manila late at night, and I see an alleyway that's about maybe 15 feet wide, and I can see my hotel through it. There's nobody in the alleyway, and I just said, well, I'll just take a shortcut to my hotel. I walk into the alley, and about 30 feet in, a guy jumps out of the wall in front of me, and another guy jumps behind me. And I'm like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. And the guy in the front looks at me and he says, "Are you an American?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "Oh, we love Americans." And about 25 people jumped out of the walls. They were living in boxes in there. And they're talking to me. And after a while, the guy says to me, "What are you doing down here alone late at night? It's not safe." And I said, "Well, I was taking a shortcut to my hotel." I said, "I'm going to get to my hotel now." And he said, No, you're not alone." And he took me by one arm. Another guy took me by the other arm and escorted me to the front door of my hotel and dropped me off. He said, "Now don't come out walking late at night down here again." Love the Beaver. Food's excellent. So glad we came here. And I'll give a plug to the hotel across the street, the San Antonio Resort. It's a very nice place. It's right across the street from the Canadian Beaver.
Right.
So it's a great place to come to.
Mama drama.
Oh my God, another mother-in-law in your
Mamma
life.
mia.
Oh man, we've all had a bad mother-in-law. I think everybody's heard of one if they haven't had one.
Now here in the Philippines, it could also be like a trap when you were like showing the family that you are really into the woman, and they could trap you like, if you really love my daughter, you should marry her, you know, or you already have taken my daughter somewhere, and as a mama,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you to marry my daughter right now.
Yeah. Well, here's the trap though. If your mother-in-law doesn't like you, she's going to tell everybody about it, including you. So like everywhere, you need to win over her mother. And not too aggressively. It's a little bit of a soft touch is required. Don't be over friendly, and just be respectful and polite and let her come around. Would you agree? Would you agree? You're the Filipina here.
Yes, but I'm just lucky I have a good mother. You're lucky I have
Oh
a
yeah,
good.
she was always so nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So also there are a lot of people that are asking us if they should meet the parents after they met the Filipina for like a day or second day of meeting.
Yeah, I always recommend 3 to 5 days by yourself. Maybe a sister or a relative comes the very first date. But before you go have a promise ceremony, you meet the whole family and you commit to moving towards marriage and towards engagement. I think you should really make sure that the woman doesn't pull Tompo on day 3, or she doesn't go, nuclear jealous, and you kind of know who you're dealing with. It could take a day or 2 for that mask to come off.
Yeah, because I'm thinking if you are going to land in one of the airports here in the Philippines and your Filipina will say, I'm going to bring my mama in the airport, it could be like a problem because it's a serious thing to meet the family.
But, it happens quite often. And, just on this point, some people say you're out of your mind. It's a rookie move to let the girl meet you at the airport. I believe if you've had a serious LDR and you've been chatting one woman for 2 to 3 hours a day for 30 days, I don't think it's a problem. I think you're moving forward down a straight line with that one woman. And it's okay. But if you are, you haven't found a unicorn, you haven't found that top candidate, the most recruitable Filipina, then no, don't let her meet you at the airport. Casanova complex. I think 100% of men start out pursuing a Casanova complex approach, which is, I'm going to go to the Philippines for 30 days. I'll fly to Manila, see my first prospect. Then I'm going to go to Cebu City, see my second prospect. I'm off to Davao to see my third, and I'll circle back and I'll see my best prospect. This is a very precarious, slippery slope, Chrissy.
So it's just like trapping yourself. Nobody had trapped you, but you are making the big trap in the Philippines, which is you can make a problem by dating multiple girls in the Philippines.
Filipinas are jealous and a little bit sneaky, and there's the probability that your Filipina is going to figure out who that girl is in Davao and call her up, or these Filipinas are going to find each other before you have a chance to hit your circuit and circle back. Or they're just smart and you tell them, hey, I'm flying to Manila for a week before I come see you in Cebu City. What are you going to say?
I'm not going to deal with it.
You're not part of that plan, right?
Yeah.
And you're probably going to find out who he's going to go see. You're going to be on a mission to figure out who this guy's going to go see in Makati. And you'll be looking on Facebook and you'll be Googling the man and you're going to try and figure out what's up.
For me, my own preference that before I was thinking I'm not really gonna like it if I date a foreigner man that is already here in the Philippines for a very long time, because I know he already been dating a lot of women, or you could be the number 3, or you can ruin a relationship.
The trap is that you're gonna not pull it off, Casanova. And I always say, if there's a number 1, if you've found a most recruitable Filipina, go directly to that woman first. It's okay if you let her meet you at the airport. Pursue that number 1. See if it's real. See if it's all you think it is. Don't risk your number 1 prospect by doing a round robin Casanova style.
Okay, one thing I've learned living here in the Philippines, what we would consider common or normal back in the West is not necessarily common or normal here. And when I say that, I just added windshield washer fluid to my car. However, I went into 6 different gas stations. No one sold windshield washer fluid. They all looked at me like I was really weird. I went into 2 hardware stores. They told me the same thing. I went into a mechanic shop where they sold tires. I'm trying to explain to them. They're all talking back and forth. None of them understood what I meant by windshield washer fluid. So I bring them out to the car. I show them the actual tab, and he goes, okay, I'll be right back. I said, okay. He comes out, and then he fills it with a bottle of water, charges me 20 peso, which made me laugh. But I actually had to order windshield washer fluid because nowhere carries it because they're all driving scooters. My wife actually asked me if I would install a small shoe rack in the car because she keeps so many shoes in here. And she has 3 more pairs in the trunk. So I said very politely, no, honey, maybe we just decide what we're going to wear before we leave the house.
All right, well, that's it for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw here, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.